Hey everybody, Natalie Cutler-Welsh here. I am doing a spontaneous interview series with a bunch of awesome business owners to help new business owners. As you know, it's crazy turbulent times that we're in. We've had a few people having to walk off the job essentially because of the no jab, no job. And so one of the things I wanted to do was just to see if we can help people get started in their business or be their own boss, essentially. So today I'm talking to Kathryn Price, and she's from Upcycled and Co. And I'm excited to chat with Kathryn because we've known each other for probably 10 years. And this is a business that she's going to talk to you about her backstory. And she's going to share with us 3 tips that new business owners, people that are just starting out, can apply to help them hit the ground running. Welcome, Kathryn. Hi.
Hi, Nat. Thanks for having me.
So good to have you here. So I see that it says believe behind you. So I think believing in yourself is one of the things people need to do. Give us a little bit of backstory. How did you get into starting your own business? And just give us a picture of how Upcycled and Co started.
Okay. So I had my very first business many years ago, so back in 1998. But that aside, this time around, it started almost 9 years ago. So I was in the corporate world for many, many years. Left the corporate world literally in a stressed out heap and thought, what do I do now? Started a copywriting business, did that for 3 years. And then I learned how to paint furniture, which I'd done a little bit of before and a little bit of upcycling over the years. But I was driving home from Auckland one day and I thought, I could teach this because I just loved it so much. And I was really taken with how quickly and easy people could transform their furniture. So I kind of fell in love with it and came up with the idea, and then started the business back in 2016.
And was it a roaring success straight away? Did it take a long time to get going?
No, it took a while to get going, and that was purely because I needed to learn a whole lot of stuff about being in business. So I started off doing workshops. The first one, 2 local women, one either side of my kitchen bench. And yeah, it grew from there, but it didn't really take off until I learned more about business.
And then what capacity did it grow until? What state is it at now?
So within 18 months, I got it to 6 figures, and then doubled that.
Woohoo!
Yeah, which is pretty astounding considering that, when I started out, as I said, that first workshop, each of those women paid me $60 each for a 2-hour workshop. Within a year, I was charging $180 a person for a workshop and filling a room of 20 people. And doing that 4 times over a weekend. So if you do the math, it's not a bad income for a weekend. So yeah, it was a big learning curve, but it was really, once I knew what I was doing and found the formula that worked, it was really exciting and I loved it.
I can tell you loved it. Interesting story. I started also in my lounge, and for free. And when my husband said, Nat, we need money, can you charge these ladies? I also started with 2 women in a workshop in a cafe teaching social media. And I charged, I don't know, $40 or whatever. So I think it's so cool for people to hear those stories and to see how, both of us have grown, how you doubled those, you doubled the price, more than doubled the price, 20 people. Hey, did people bring their own furniture? Just curious.
No, they didn't. So another thing I did in business, which I've kind of always done in my life, is I tend to do things differently. So I'm a real ideas person. I have lots of ideas all of the time. And I tend to do things differently than everybody else because I run with my own ideas. So everybody else was getting people to bring along a piece of furniture and paint it. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to teach people more than one technique. So I provided small items for them to paint during the workshop so that I could teach them 6 different techniques in a 2-hour workshop. And they went away with a whole lot more than just this one painted piece, because it's about creativity, right? It was, that's what it was about.
You know what? I know we're going to dive into tips, but I feel like you've already shared some gold. So I'm just going to recap. I wrote down, teach what you love, right? Because you were doing it anyway. You were doing this project.
Yeah.
And you decided teach what you love, do it differently, run with your own ideas. And I love that
Yeah.
too. And I think people can apply that too. So you were like, other people were doing it this way and it was in demand and it was popular, but I decided to do it that way and provide more value. And that's why you could charge more prices and make awesome money.
Yeah. And the other thing I did too is, everybody else was using other brands of paint, which I was initially as well. And towards the end of the first year, I had the crazy idea of launching my own paint brand. And that's what helped my business grow too. And so that's another story, of course, there's so many stories. But when I launched the paint, what I decided was, people kept saying to me, oh, well, you could sell it in this store and that store. And from the get-go, I was never going to have it in retail stores because I knew that if I sold it direct, it was better for me and it was better for the customer because, I could charge less and my profits are much higher because there was nobody in the middle. And that's the way I've always done it. Now, nobody else does it solely that way, but it worked and it's worked brilliantly. And, last year, for example, with everything that was going on, I haven't run workshops now for well over 18 months, yet my income doubled last year.
So tell us how that worked.
Well, that was just promoting the paint. That was just promoting that more and more. And that was also, which I'll come to in the tips, was about building my following, which is, one of the biggest and most important things you need to do from day one.
Okay, well, I love that. I just want to dive into that there because what you did is when everyone talks about pivoting, right? So pivoting when everything went digital and you couldn't do what you did, which was basically a in-person situation, you were fine. And I wrote down, own your own offerings, like you owned your own offering, which is the paint.
Yeah.
And you have ownership of that and you could, charge a little bit, you could sell retail and make some money off that. And because everyone was so into DIY, you were good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I have a quick little story from, the lockdown night last March. I mean, I was in a business group and, lots of women in there were discussing about who was an essential business and who wasn't. And I was sort of thinking, well, there's no point in sitting here being in this conversation. It's pretty black and white to me. I'm not essential. I close at midnight. What can I do right now? And I sent an email out to my database at that point, which was kind of half of what it is now. At 6 o'clock, and by midnight I'd sold more paint than I used to sell in a month. So that was just one, again, that was something I did differently. Like I just had this idea, ran with it, and it worked.
Okay, I just got to jump in there too, Kathryn. I need to commend you because so many people would be like, oh, well, throw their hands in the air. Oh, well, I guess that's me. I guess I'm out. It's black and white. But no, you took what I call empowered action and you were like, I'm just going to pop an email through to my people. And
see what happens.
And they had a genuine sense of urgency. And you were like, here it is. And here's the thing, tell them what to do and make it easy. Here's the link. Boom, they buy it, you ship it. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. All right, let's transition into the tips. And I'm sure you'll give us a little bit more of your backstory as we go.
Yeah. So starting a business again now, which is something I'm also doing, starting a new business, the three things I do differently, I am doing differently. Building an audience from day one. So by that, I mean starting a Facebook page or an Instagram account, whatever a social media it is that you want to be on. So, ideally 2 of those, but if it's all brand new, one's better than none. And being consistent on that platform to build to build your following, to build your audience. Is really, really super important. The second part of building the audience is to start an email list. So I talked just previously about sending an email to my database, before lockdown last year. I've been consistently building a database with Upcycled & Co. for 5 years, I guess it is, 4 years. I have 9,200 people on that database. So now, I know this is going to sound, I guess, a bit of double Dutch or gobbledygook to people who haven't been in business, but, if you just remember these things, build your audience, build an email list, then go away and find out how to do that or get someone to help you do it. Giving away something on your website for free that gets people to sign up, like you do when you go to a website, people ask you to sign up. and you're constantly building that email list, and those are the people that you then market to and sell to. So that's how that works.
That is so impressive. That's awesome.
So that was number one. So number two is get help early. So with Upcycled & Co, I battled on for too long on my own, trying to figure it all out. And I've learned this time that, when I started my latest business, I connected with a coach straight away. So, and the difference I've seen is that I'm now not wasting time thinking about the things that are blocking me or holding me back or keeping me stuck. I'm actually just facing them head on and dealing with them, and then being able to move beyond them. So whether it's a coach or a counselor or a therapist or whatever, whoever it is you need to engage with to get through whatever it is that's holding you back, do that really early.
I think that's so relevant. I totally agree. And it's, if people can identify like, what is the gap for me or what is the challenge? It's actually my confidence in putting myself out there. Okay. Get a person that helps you with that. That's me. No, but if it might be going, oh, I don't know how to do websites. Okay. That's not me, so get someone else. Or it might be, I'm really limiting beliefs and I really need to deal with my childhood trauma. Again, not me. So it would be like finding the right person to help you with what the gap is that's holding you back. Perfect. Love that.
Yeah, definitely. And that can be a range of things, because being in business it's not only about the business, ultimately it's about us. So everything starts and stops with us. So we've got to be in the right space for it to work. So the third tip is get a website. So the reason I say this is because your website is the only real estate in the online space that you own and you have control over. So, for example, we had Facebook go down for a number of hours a few weeks ago. Social media platforms, they can change or disappear or change the rules or whatever, but your website it's your own, and you control what goes on with it. And also that's going to be where you're going to be building your email list. So that's where people are going to be signing up to actually get on your database. So your website is really important. Now, the other important thing on websites is that you don't need to spend a fortune. And Nat and I were just talking about this earlier. You only need, to start off with one page that says, with a great photo, says who you are, what you do, and get my free tips to do X, Y, Z here, click here and sign up. That's enough to start. Ideally, 5 pages, a home page, an about page, your services, a contact page, and what have I forgotten now? We used to have galleries in the old days, but we don't have those now. What have I testimonials maybe? Testimonials, yeah. Reviews, so you don't need to spend a lot of money. I mean, if you're starting out, you might have a really switched on team that can help you. It's really easy with some of the platforms these days to build websites, but you don't need to spend a fortune. So,
love the awesome tips, you guys. I'm going to take some notes and I'll put them in the notes. Speaking of outsourcing, have you outsourced or do you have a team yourself?
Oh, yeah. So the great thing I've been able to do with Upcycled & Co is that over the last 12 months, I have outsourced 99% of the functions of the business. So I now don't work in that business. I keep an eye on the people that do the bits for me. And I still pay myself a really great salary every month. So that's been a real bonus for me, because now I've come back to my passion project of years and years and years, and I'm writing a book, and I'm starting a business speaking and coaching and writing, because I want to write more books. So that's enabled me to actually do that, and very shortly Upcycled & Co will be for sale. So I'll be moving completely into the coaching speaking space, which will be great.
What a cool journey. And, we started off talking about teach what you love. And now you are doing what I like to talk about, following the love or staying in the zone of love. So what I find some people do is they stay doing what they're doing, even though it's not making them happy. And you're like, that was awesome, super successful. Someone else can take it on. I am ready for the next chapter. And that's so exciting.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I can't wait. It's really it's great. I kind of always wanted to build a 6-figure business, so I've ticked that box, done that, and now, yeah, I mean, I'm in my late 50s, so I'm kind of cruising into retirement. So it's time for my ultimate passion project now.
Well, we cannot wait to follow you. I'm going to add your LinkedIn link below as well, so people can connect with you on LinkedIn if you're there. If they want to check out Upcycled & Co., what social media platforms are you on?
So I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and also Pinterest. So it's all at Upcycled & Co. And if they want to see my personal page, my personal brand accounts, it's kathrynprice.co.nz is the website, and then all the social links are from there. So
amazing. Thank you so much,
yeah.
Kathryn. Hey, you guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope that has sparked some ideas for you, some golden nuggets there with Kathryn. Thank you for sharing your journey and your tips. If you guys want more help, be sure to reach out. We can point you in the right direction. Kathryn actually has a little course that you've got available for people starting a business as well.
Yeah, I have. A couple of years ago, I developed a creatives blueprint for business, and it's not only for creatives, it's for anybody who wants to start a business, and you can link through to that from my Kathryn Price website. And one final thing I want to say is that, you know, you might look at what I've said today, and I built this 6-figure business and so on, but it started from that one idea, and it started from those 2 people at the kitchen bench. So if I can do it, you can do it.
Love that. And we'll wrap it up with that. Awesome, guys. Comment below. We'll see you the next time. Thanks.